Evropa 2 Experience.
Hezký den, posloucháte Evropu 2, je tu ten moment, který jsme tady avizovali, před chvílí vlastně hned po zprávách hráli All Time Low společně s Black Bear, jejich track Monsters je velmi oblíbený, no a my už tu tedy máme zástupce kapely All Time Low, jejich frontmana Alexe, kterýho aktuálně vítám ve vysílání Evropy 2. Alex, nice to have you here. Hi,
Hello.
man.
It's so nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Your new song with Black Bear is pretty catchy.
Hey,
it's good.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You guys played it a lot, so thank you for that.
And you said like when you came here, you said like, hey, this song won gold and it's great. But I mean, it's natural. Like,
it was wild though. I mean, like we were looking through all the stats of the song after a year or two, and it was like, you know, it went platinum in the States, and we were like, this is amazing, absolutely incredible. I think it did something in the UK, but those are territories where like we're kind of like, we don't expect it, but it wasn't as surprising. But then the third one on the list was gold in Czech.
Yeah.
We were like, okay,
it's great.
let's go.
It's great. You know, I mean, the genre of the punk bands, it's a great nostalgic topic. You know, it's great that you guys kept on going because a lot of these bands, these punk bands from '90s and the new millennium, they somehow like disappeared or went a little silent.
Yeah, for sure.
But you guys grew up on Blink-182. You played covers in the beginning, right?
We did. We started, I mean, literally, we were still in high school. We were playing in Ryan's parents' basement, and we were just having fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was just something to do. It was a way to meet girls. And, you know, it was like, I think we started getting this local following in our scene and started realizing that people actually liked what we were doing. And from there, we signed a record deal and pretty much left high school and went out on the road.
Wow.
And we've been doing it ever since. But yeah, to your point, it was really strange because we were chasing after this thing that we looked up to, bands like Blink-182, Green Day, the Foo Fighters, and that wave was kind of already crashing then. And then the genre sort of did slip back into maybe like the underground a little bit for a while. And so to see it come back around the way it has in recent years is really cool, really refreshing. It's great for us because we finally sort of have another song that connected in that moment, and that feels amazing.
I'll just translate what you said,
Sure.
just shortly. No tak já jsem začal vlastně na Alexe s tím, že tady jejich track Monsters je fajn, u nás velmi tady poslouchaný, nejen u nás, ale samozřejmě i v Americe. Pak jsem taky zmínil to, že vlastně kapela All Time Low hrála na začátku jejich kariéry vlastně covery Blink 182 a tak dále. Je to hrozně nostalgický téma, tyhle ty kapely punkový 90. let. Málo z těch kapel to vlastně dotáhly až do dnešního dne, když bychom to tak jako vzali, tak třeba Blink 182 se nedávno dali asi po třetí dohromady zase, pak tu máme třeba All Time Low a hodně z těch dalších kapel tak jako pomizelo. Trošku se teďkon pověnujeme s Alexem tomu, co třeba poslouchal vlastně dřív. You know what, I was just talking about the disappearance of a lot of punk bands. Blink-182 got together again, like for the third time.
Yes, very exciting.
It's cool, you know, I mean, and also the stories, the life stories of all these three guys.
Yeah.
Like cancer, almost dying in a plane, and then all this like consciousness alien things and you know, the Matrix, and it's big, you know.
Yeah, they have all each independently accomplished so many amazing things,
right,
you know, as individuals, and it's you know, also like you said, survived some incredible hardships, and so it's very inspiring to see them come back together now, sort of on the other side of all those things, and want to do the band again in a way that they seem to be very, very excited about it. So yeah, I'm so happy to see it because again, I grew up on them. So.
And what were the other bands, Alex, that you grew up? Like, did you remember like NoFX or?
Of course, it was all like '90s rock and '90s punk. So like, you know, Third Eye Blind, Foo Fighters, Nirvana, but also NoFX, The Offspring, Green Day was a big one for me. Sublime. You know, I sort of anything that kind of had this like rebellious, loud thing about it, I wanted to be involved in.
But it's funny that, you know, even the Monsters song still keeps this, and we were wondering with our colleagues here, they also told me to ask you, like, how did this featuring with Black Bear happen, actually?
It was really unique. It was an amazing moment. It just so happened that the producer we were working with on the song was also at the same time producing Black Bear's record.
Okay.
And Black Bear was sort of doing an album at the time that was leaning a bit more alternative, a bit more rock. And so he was feeling really inspired by those sounds.
Yeah.
And the producer, his name's Andrew, was just kind of like, I need to put you guys in touch, and I also need to play this song for Bear. So he played it for him, and Bear went, I want to do something with that. And he, separate of us, recorded a verse, sent it back, and we heard it cold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That can go either way. Like, that doesn't always work out, but Bear absolutely crushed it and took the song to this other level. And we were like, we instantly knew we had something really special there. So yeah, it was like, that's the one. That's the one people need to hear.
I'll translate it again. Ještě jsme se právě bavili o těch mizících punkových kapelách, o inspirací Blink 182, pak tady Alex vyjmenovával různý punkový kapely 90. let, který ještě dál poslouchal samozřejmě, který ho ovlivnili. Ptal jsem se i na to, jak se vlastně stal ten featuring s Black Bearem, že to je taková nečekaná kombinace, přitom, která si stále drží jako takový punkový nádech, a tak vlastně říkal Alex, že to bylo o tom, že vlastně producent, který produkoval Black Beara, zároveň produkoval i je, a dali je taky nějakým způsobem dohromady, jak to tak bývá. Čili žádná úplně velká magie, každopádně my se trošku k hudební magii posuneme, dáme si live s Alexem nějaký track. I saw on your Instagram, right after you played this cool song, that you like baby goats. Like
I
these goats.
It. Yeah, of course. Who doesn't?
Who
doesn't love baby
goats? That's
goats?
super cute, man. Because when I was looking at your Instagram, I was like, no way. Because, you know, and it's unfortunate, former girlfriend, she loves these goats. And we had this plan, you know, like when we gonna grow old together, that we're gonna have these goats together. Which,
well, I'm sorry to hear.
that sucks. No, it's all right, you know, but
Yeah.
it's already good. But I was very surprised to see that you have this hobby.
I'm a country kid at heart.
You are a country kid.
Yeah, I mean, I even as a little kid, I grew up out in the country, and I think like when I finally had the opportunity to get out of like city or close to city living, it was like, all right, I want to be in the country. And then it was the obvious choice was to own baby goats. You have to.
So you and your wife, you have these goats. How many of them you have?
We have 3. And they're not babies anymore. They're
know.
like, at this point, they're like kind of, well, they're not big because they're pygmy.
I know.
They stay pretty small, but they're
yeah.
strong and they weigh a lot and they're so pushy because so when they're babies, we like bottle fed them. So they're like super loyal to humans, but now they just like push us around and bully us for food.
That's cute. Do they have names?
Yeah, their names are Griff, Milk, and Poe. Shout out my goats.
Oh yeah.
Live on the radio. It's the first time. That's the first time the goats got a shout out on live
No way.
radio, so
Nobody recognized this.
I hope they're listening.
Okay, well, they should. Let me translate it. Já jsem Alexovi vlastně říkal to, že jsem se koukal na jeho Instagram a překvapila mě vlastně jedna věc. Já jsem fascinovaný vlastně takovýma těma malejma kůzlátkama, jo. Se mi hrozně líbí, jsou to vlastně pygmy, typ prostě pygmy kůzlátek, a koukal jsem právě, že on tam má fotky s nima, s jeho ženou a tak jsem se jako zeptal, jestli jako vlastní tyhle ty kozičky, a on jako, že jo, že mají 3 a že vlastně takový jako country kid, jako člověk, který má rád tu vesnici a tak dále. Tak jsme samozřejmě pozdravili tedy Alexovi 3 kozy do éteru. Říkal, že to je poprvé, co se ho někdo vlastně zeptal na to, že takhle vlastní tyhle ty zvířata. So, since you are a country kid, is this like a little bit escape from the city? Is this like a main theme of your life right now? Like to escape from this reality, you know what I mean?
I don't know. I like
looking for some new peace.
I love it in small doses. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I think I'm very back and forth in that way. I think it's a product of being a touring artist. Is like our lives are just defined by extremes. You know, you're on tour 300 days out of the year and everything is go, 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 buzz, buzz, buzz.
Yeah.
And then you get home and it's like you almost want the exact opposite of that. So I think it was sort of a product of like, I want to be, when I'm home and just off, I want to be in this little peaceful bubble where I can decompress. And fortunately, my wife also like grew up horse riding and all that kind of stuff, so she loves that life too. So it worked out for us. Yeah.
So you ride horses together as well?
We do. Off into the sunset.
Wow. And that's in the state that where you're from?
Yeah, in Maryland.
Maryland.
Yeah, super
It's
peaceful.
good nature.
I love it.
Definitely.
Love it out there.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you, like, what is the main topic, like, of your life right now? Since, you know, we are all getting older and stuff, so I was like, hey, I'm gonna ask this punk rock guy, like, you know, in his... How old are you, by the way?
I'm 35.
In his 30s, like me? Like, what is the thing? But I think you already answered it. But.
You know, it is. It's finding peace. Making peace with who you are. I think like you spend your 20s, at least in my experience, making mistakes and shaking things up and sort of not being ready to settle. You know what I mean? And I think then when I hit my 30s, it was kind of like this whole life-changing moment of like, and obviously at the same time, like the pandemic happened and a lot of crazy world events happened. So it was kind of like, it just sort of reoriented my mind in terms of like what's really important. And I think that's kind of where I landed on the other side of it. So yeah.
Is there anything from the past that you miss? Like from the funny years of life?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean...
Or you get fulfilled?
Yeah, to be honest, like I feel like I still feel like a big kid, and I don't feel like all that much has changed as far as like if we still have our crazy nights. We still, like, everyone in the band, 20 years into our band, we all still love each other.
But you are the only one basically who's in marriage. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
I'm the only married.
The pioneer.
Yeah, I dove in, but you know, like it's one of those things where we all still love each other so much that even when we come out on the road these days, it's not like we're all just like in our own dressing rooms, not talking to each other and stuff like that. Like we go out, we have a great time, like just being here in this city. This is like one of our favorite cities to visit. And so everybody was out like kind of getting wild last night, which was great.
Yeah, let me translate this shortly. No, tak co vám budu povědat, Alex, přestože to je prostě punk rockový dítě, tak vlastně jsme řešili to téma, jestli vlastně utíká, jak říkal, že je takový jako vesnický trošku typ, tak jsem se optal, jestli vlastně to je to, že jako utíká na tu vesnici, do té přírody, za těma kozama nebo na ty koně, tak vlastně říkal, že jo, ale že to potřebuje jako v menších dávkách, že to není jako o tom, že by tam musel být furt, ale když jako jste na turné v rámci kapely, takže to je jako velmi potřeba. Pak samozřejmě mluvil o těch idylkách, že jezdí se svou ženou na koních a tak dále, což je tedy úžasný. Ptal jsem se taky na to, jestli jak už vlastně dospíváme všichni a stárneme, mu 35 let, tak jaký je teď jako téma toho jeho života, a vlastně říkal, že to je takový jako smíření nebo mír prostě sám v sobě, sám se sebou a tak dále. Takže evidentně jako třicátníci plus hledají tak nějak v životě to samý. Yeah, I was saying that, you know, like people above 30 nowadays, they definitely look for the same thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a commonality in your priorities in life.
Yeah,
point,
and
know?
maybe the pandemic and all the worst things, they maybe transformed us in some way.
For sure. I mean, I think it in a lot of ways transformed everybody, you know. I mean, it was such a hard experience for everyone everywhere in the world. And, you know, I don't think anyone was the same coming out of those years, you know.
Totally agree,
really
man.
made whatever age you were, I think everybody came out with new struggles, but also a new perspective on what's important, what to prioritize next, things like that.
Let's get to some funnier stuff. Like, what do you watch right now on Netflix or whatever? What caught your attention? Is there anything that you...
I'm sure everybody said it, but I love Last of Us.
You do?
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
Pedro Pascal, you know, he's so famous about one thing that and maybe that would be a dream of a musician as well. He always stared at he was starring, right? Mm-hmm. He was starring at the shows, and none of them had less than 98% of the like from the reviews.
Yeah. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Good for him. Yeah.
I mean, he's
the Narcos, and you know,
he's an amazing actor.
He is.
I mean, he brings it. Even the Star Wars one. Mandalorian, he's got a helmet on the whole time. You never see his face. It's still great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let me translate it. Já jsem vlastně s Alexem ještě jednou zajel na tu notu, jak jako stárneme, že ty třicátníci hledají ten svůj mír, tak jsem mu jako říkal, že vlastně i během té pandemie a tak dále, že nás to nějakým způsobem transformovalo, s čím samozřejmě souhlasil, říkal, že určitě jako nikdo z nás, jak jsme do toho vešli, do toho procesu dvouletýho, tak asi jsme nevyšli jako stejný, což je jako zásadní. aby to nebylo úplně takový jako plaštivý, tak jsme potom otočili list na to, jsem se zeptal, na co kouká teď jako poslední dobou třeba na internetu, tak říká, že se mu líbí Last of Us, dostali jsme se tedy k Pedro Pascalovi, k tomu herci a říkal jsem mu, že by to byl vlastně i sen každého muzikanta, že by každýho album mělo minimálně 98% jakoby recenze, jo. Takže jsme pochválili Pedro Pascala, jeho role. Some music that you listen to right now? Is there anything that caught your that sparked your interest
Absolutely.
lately?
I mean, while we were making our new album, I was going back and listening to a lot of the old stuff.
Yeah.
Music that I grew up on. I did like a deep dive back in on the Beatles.
Uh-huh.
And some of that kind of bled through, I think, in the songwriting. But right now, I have to shout out the two bands that we have on tour with us right now, because I'm genuinely a huge fan of both of them. One is Games We Play, and the other is Lauren Hibbard. She's a UK artist, and they just both bring something really fresh and unique to kind of what we talked about. Like they're sort of reinventing the sort of pop punk genre that I think I grew up listening to, but they're bringing something really new to it in this day and age now that there's sort of been that resurgence. So I love them, and I'm inspired every night when I watch them on stage. Like they make me fired up to go out and put on a better show, which
It's great. You take two bands, together on the tour.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Okay, so what is the venue you play tonight?
Oh my gosh.
You forgot
help,
it.
Walter, help.
Yeah. Lucerna Music
Yes.
Bar.
Yes,
Yeah, you
that's
say
the
it,
one.
you say it right. Lucerna Music Bar. Dneska večer, All Time Low, těšte se na ně, mají 2 předskokany, je to pěkný, že berou vlastně 2 kapely, jednu tedy muzikantku z Británie a potom jednu kapelu z Ameriky. Fajn, že berou vlastně 2 lidi před sebe. Ještě jsme se právě tak jako uzavřeli, jsem se ptal právě, co poslouchá Alex za muziku, tak říkal, že to je jako tak nějak všechno možný, že si dal takovej hlubený ponor i jako do Beatles a tak dále. No, každopádně jsme takhle hudebně naladění, tak ty zásadní informace už víte, jak o Alexovi, tak o jejich koncertu All Time Low. Dnes večer v Lucerna Music Baru, doražte tam.